A couple of new and interesting laws have recently gone into effect here in the state of Tennessee, and both of them could impact you or a member of your family. Scott Wesson is here from the firm of Warren and Griffin. Good to see you, Scott. You're dressed down a little bit from who usually sits in that chair.
Yes, that's
good to have you. Hey, a couple of new laws that kicked into effect, I guess, during the first of the year, and the first of these concerns the handgun concealed carry permit law. And this one states, and I want to make sure I read this correctly, it allows members of the military who have had adequate training with firearms to qualify for the handgun permit without taking additional training. We've heard, personally, I've heard this from probably a dozen vets that they put their life on the line, went overseas, sometimes for multiple tours of duty. I think it's kind of an insult to have to take an 8-hour course on things the government has drilled them in for 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. And a lot of the instructors that do the instructing for the handgun permit they're ex-military or they're ex-police or police. And I think it's just a common sense law. We talked last week about, why didn't somebody think of this before? You know, that kind of thing with the law. And I think this is one of them. It's just going to save everyone a lot of time, and it shows a little more respect to the military.
All right, let's say we have a vet who wants to apply for the concealed carry permit. What do they need to take to show that, hey, I've had the training from the government?
Yeah, that's correct. And it's actually going to be online. It's going to be in the system, the same as when you go for your permit and you go to even to buy a firearm, and there's a system that will look all that stuff up. So it should be in there. Your system should be updated, and I would warn them. My understanding of talking with someone is you might need to talk to your commander or talk to someone to make sure that information is in the system before you go down there.
All right, good idea. The next law up, and this says we'll establish a prescription drug donation repository program that's overseen by the Department of Health. And Tennessee is only the second state to do that behind New York. Break this down for us.
This is another one of those common sense laws. I mean, I've read at a couple of places that literally hundreds of tons of medications that are perfectly good, that are not expired, are simply disposed of every year.
Right.
And this mainly affects nursing homes and caregivers like that, where people pass away. Their regiments change. They're fighting cancer, then they're fighting something else. So their medicines change. These medicines just get thrown away. So this will allow them to turn them into a pharmacy. And they'll go right back through the pharmacy. They'll go back through safety protocols and everything. It's not going to take the medication and just hand it to someone else.
Sure.
It's going to go through the protocols to make it safe and make it effective and provide something for people who are unable to afford their medicine.
So it's essentially a form of prescription recycling.
It sure is.
And a lot of times, sadly, when, as you said, someone passes away or they don't need the medication anymore, they dispose of it in unsafe areas, like flushing it down the commode or pouring it down the sink, and that's bad for the water supply, and it's just bad all the way around.
Yeah, that's true, and it's very dangerous sometimes. The medications can get in the wrong hands.
Sure.
And this will prevent that.
Have you heard any numbers about New York, how long or how successful this program has been?
The only thing I was able to find about New York is that they are very excited about it. It's very new. It's just in the last few years, but so far it's been wildly successful. And states are jumping on as quick as they can.
Well, let's hope we surpass New York in that arena as well.
We'll show them.
Scott, thank you so much.
Hey,
always a pleasure.
Thanks
you can get in touch with Scott at the firm of Warren and Griffin. They're easy to find. 265-HURT, 265-HURT, and the website warrenandgriffin.com. Stick around. We have more of Let's Chat, including how to save money on the power bill when we come back.